Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Mary Reinhart, and I'm really excited to share with you the Elementary Maker Curriculum 2.0 from First Makerspace. This project has been a whole year in the making, and if you've experienced Elementary Maker Curriculum before, then there are some really exciting updates for you. For those of you who've never heard of the Elementary Maker Curriculum or who are new to First Makerspace, then I'm really excited to introduce to you a really innovative Maker Curriculum that's centered around the hands-on experience for students, and that can be implemented in an online, hybrid, or in-person classroom. And so let's get started. So today I'm going to demonstrate a little bit about how to purchase the curriculum and how to use the curriculum in Canvas, and just a little bit about how to get in touch with us if you have additional questions as well. So I'm on the First Makerspace website right now, and if you go to the drop down under products, you'll come to curriculum, and then elementary curriculum. And you'll see that our elementary curriculum, there's two pictures here, and I really love that it started out as a book because the first curriculum we published is a printed copy. For the second edition, we are publishing only a printed copy, or only a digital copy, I'm sorry, and with some really exciting updates, which I'll show you in a second. So if you're interested in purchasing it, we actually, most of the schools that work with us will purchase it with by working through us with a purchase order. And so this isn't usually typically an online product, but we will give them the information online to essentially buy it, if you will. So I'm just going to run through this real quick. Even though I work here, I'm just going to enter some quick information so that it'll let me. I'm just entering our company information here. Okay. So you can see that if you purchase with a purchase order as part of a larger order, or even the curriculum by itself, then we'll give you a code to redeem your order. And then you'll be able to download your order. And so what comes in the download is actually two different pieces. You're going to get the actual lesson plans themselves, as well as the Canvas download as well. And so our curriculum has the lesson plan component, which are PDFs, as well as the Canvas download, which I'll show you as well. So I'm going to start with the PDF version once this downloads. It comes in one big zip file, which you'll open. And you can see that there's a couple of different things. You'll see there's a start here agreement. And I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. That gives you a little bit of a preface about what the curriculum's about, and a little bit of information. I want to point out that we had a really great writing partner on this, on our curriculum. Rebecca Bersani really contributed a lot to the writing of the elementary curriculum, and I want to give her a shout out for all of her hard work. So I'm going to point to the scope and sequence here, because a curriculum without really any guidance is, as many educators know, is hard to pin down. And so our curriculum is divided into three sections: upcycling and DIY, 3D printing, and STEM and maker kits. And it's really meant to give educators the tools they need to implement making and STEM in the classroom or in a makerspace. STEM and making can be somewhat ambiguous to those educators who have never implemented it before. Hands-on and project-based learning are new concepts to many educators. And even if you've implemented those concepts before in the classroom, implementing cross-curricular hands-on learning can be a complicated process. And so we've developed a series of 32 lesson plans that stand alone, but that can also be bridged together. The lesson plans contain several subject areas that integrate science and engineering, math, art, social studies, English, language arts, and a variety of other subject areas, as well as employability skills, all while being completely hands-on and fun to implement, as well as experience for the teacher and student. And so I'm going to start with just looking at some of these different things. In each lesson, you're going to see that there's an objective and a standards alignment, as well as an employability skills alignment. We do have a time required, and so we give you kind of a time amount to help you with planning, and a grade level that it's recommended for as well, based on the Indiana academic standards. We also have a STEM careers alignment. So if your school is really focused on STEM, we have STEM careers that each lesson maps to. And we also divide out whether it's a PBL, project-based learning, or an inquiry-focused lesson, as well as is it an individual or group lesson for your own planning when you're trying to think through how are you going to group students together, or can they do this individually? So I'm going to back up a little bit and show you next the teacher lesson plans. I'm just going to use one lesson as an example. And so I'm going to dive in to one of my favorites, which is the toy design workshop. And so I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see it. So each lesson has a bright cover page with the time recommendation, as well as the grade level recommendation right on the front. Each lesson plan is really designed by teachers. When Rebecca and I, as well as other educators, were writing these, we really had the teacher and students in mind. I was an educator for 5 years in the classroom, and one of the things that I really like about lesson plans are when they're really direct, but they also leave a lot of room for me to develop my own and insert my own creativity and student experiences in there. And that's exactly what you're going to see in this lesson. You'll see an overview, objectives for the students, so your students will be able to. Then you're going to see your standards alignment. For each lesson, you're going to see a broad variety of standards that it aligns to, but all of these are things that it directly maps to. These are not things that are kind of on the sidelines. These are things that you will directly cover with this lesson. As well as an employability skills alignment. So employability skills are essential for our students today. They're things like communication, problem solving, collaboration, and in maker education and STEM, you can't help but teach these skills. And so one of the neat features of this curriculum is that it maps out how you teach the employability skills when you teach these different lessons. It also has the materials needed. Some of the materials we offer from First Makerspace. Other materials are consumables like stickers, scissors, craft foam, as you can see. It just really depends on the lesson as to what materials you need, but all of the materials are listed in each lesson. Has any preparation needed, the resources, and then the procedure is really the meat of the lesson. And whenever you're planning, it's really good to have a really great procedure guide with any scripting, especially for beginning educators or those who are new to this style of teaching and learning. It really provides a solid base to really dig in and see what you're going to need for this lesson. And for those who are experienced, you could take what you need and leave what you don't. And it's really a great way to build on your experience. There's also extending the lesson pieces in every lesson plan. Some for each day. There's also ways that you can help develop the skills of students who are not at the point where they need to be, and ways and other ideas to extend the lessons as well. There's assessments with every lesson, as well as a STEM career connection. And you see Canvas mentioned. I'll get to that in a moment. All of these link to Gladio, which is our partner in STEM career alignment. All right. And so Gladio has a variety of careers, and we link to specifically the different STEM careers, and we've curated that list for teachers and for students. All right, going back to the lesson plan, we also have a rubric that was specifically designed for each lesson plan. About half of it is devoted to the project, and there are two specific boxes for employability skills. You're going to notice that there are no points values on this rubric. Every teacher, every school does point values differently, and so that can be left up to the school to decide how they want to implement those point values. So now I'm going to shift over to Canvas. If you're familiar with Canvas, you're going to notice, first of all, you're going to get this Canvas download with your purchase. So as part of the download, let's see. Trying to think of how to get back to that. So when you download, that was the last box. So I would just go ahead and dive right in here. And so you'll be able to import this Canvas module or I should say course into any existing Canvas account that you have, which really distinguishes it from other Canvas curriculums out there. You don't have to have another login, another password for you or your students. You can import this into your existing framework for Canvas, which is really a difference maker for a lot of teachers and students using a makerspace. And so in Canvas, what you're going to see is exactly the same thing that you saw with the teacher lesson plans, except this was designed for the student. This first module is all about makerspace expectations and safety. Safety is something that should run throughout your time in the makerspace, whether you visit once or you visit it every week or every day. Safety should be something that's an ongoing theme. And so that's a really important unit. Upcycling and DIY, and then STEM and maker kits. You can see that's a really big unit, and then 3D printing. These are all the student experiences and lesson plans that you're going to see in Canvas. And in every lesson, you're going to see a design component, a make, and a reflect. So I'm just going to pick the 3D name tag. That's one of my favorite lessons that we do. And so in this lesson here, you're going to see that in this lesson, you're going to see the overview, success criteria. Notice that's different than objectives. For students, they're going to see success criteria instead of objectives. And then they're going to see some background information, a video for them to watch. And so if you're teaching in a hybrid or online format, that's going to be critical to implementation. Instead of you giving that background information, you're going to be able to rely on this to provide some of that background information. Project directions, materials needed, and then you'll be able to link to the assignments, to that design, make, and reflect. And then the rubrics are already uploaded into Canvas. You can do all of your grading and everything through the Canvas portal. We've made it really easy for you to do everything that you need to do with this experience. And so to kind of wrap up, I just want to thank you for your time, and we really hope that the Elementary Maker curriculum changes the way that students make and learn in the classroom. And if you have any questions about the Elementary Maker Curriculum 2.0 from First Makerspace, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or my team at First Makerspace. We would be really excited to talk to you about how you can implement this in your classroom, whether you are running a makerspace inside of your classroom, whether it's a special at your school, or whether you visit the makerspace as part of your school day. There is no right or wrong way to have a makerspace, and we would love to help you take your makerspace to the next level by integrating it into your curriculum. And this curriculum really helps you to do that. It's a stepping stone to the next level of your maker experience. And so if you have have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Have a